Hi everyone, Michael Sandler here. In this video, I want to share with you one of the key tips of the pros that people often overlook as well. And that's the focus on the core. Whether it's coaches like Alberto Salazar, whether it's the Ethiopians and Kenyans with their running trails, or so many other top professional runners, the secret to great running starts in the core. Now, I'm not talking the six-pack abs that you get in the magazines or that you see when the occasional runner or more likely bodybuilder comes by. Those are cool, but those do so little for your running. I'm talking about an incredibly strong group of muscles through your abdominals that help you run with better form, that keep you strong and give you greater endurance. Not to mention, it's your core that keeps you injury-free. If we think of the human body as a bicycle wheel, look at a bicycle wheel. It's got a strong center hub and it's got all these weak, flimsy spokes coming off of it. Well, our body is like a wheel. These are our spokes, our arms and our legs, and the hub is our center, is our core. What holds a bicycle wheel together and supports you is the strong hub and the tension the spokes are put under. What holds our body together is the strong core. Our wheel spins, our arms spin, and our legs spin, just like the spokes in a hub coming off of that core. So if you want a strong run, if you want a strong body, if you want to stay injury-free, we need to really strengthen this. So how do we do it? Well, in the Mindful Running program, we've got literally a dozen different exercises to help give you the strongest core possible, to help you run injury-free and with better endurance than ever. But here, I want to teach you a great tool and a test that you can practice and do at home or almost any time you want. So here's the test. It's really simple. What I'm going to have you do, well, simply we'll do it here together, is I'm going to lift up my shirt a bit. I know, nothing very dramatic here. I'm lifting up my shirt. And what you're going to do, you can do this in front of a mirror at home. What you want to be able to do is see your hips. You're going to simply put your legs together and you're going to raise one leg up just like that. Chances are, if you're like 99% of all the other runners out there, when you lift that leg up, whoop, there goes your hip. You're going to drop or push out a hip. That's okay. That's your starting point. But what that means is if you're constantly running like this, you are an overuse injury in the making. What you want to be able to do is engage that core, bring that leg up, and boom, no movement at all. And that's what this exercise is going to teach you how to do. Now, what I'm going to have you do, I'll take you through this. There are 3 key steps, and then we're going to practice a set, well, you can practice it at home, a set of 5 to 10 repetitions. What you're going to do is engage your core from the bottom on up. So first we're going to engage our pelvic floor. The way that you're going to do this, women seem to have an easier time than men, is engage the pelvic floor. Women, you can just tell them engage the pelvic floor, and they help pull it in right like that. Or if I turn sideways, here, you engage that pelvic floor, you bring it in right like that. It's a very subtle movement, but it helps keep you from having the duck butt out like that. Instead, it brings everything directly underneath you. For guys, I've been given a good piece of advice. It's going to sound really weird, but it works well. Think of pulling your testicles in. And when you pull your testicles in, it helps engage that pelvic floor and tightens your lower abdominal muscles. From there, what you want to do is you want to picture wearing a corset. And with that corset on, you're going to squeeze it tight and tighter and tighter still. When we think of abdominal muscles and you think of the person with a six-pack ab, you often think of things like crunches, pulling in like that, giving everything from top to bottom. Well, when it comes from running, this isn't the concern. It's this that's the concern. So what we need is our transverse abdominal muscles, our muscles that act as a corset, to really come in and interlace together and lock like that. So use that imagery and picture pulling in, and pulling in more as you inhale, and then you're going to hold that position. So step number 1 is bring that in like that for your pelvic or your abdominal floor. Step number 2, tighten your corset in good and tight as you inhale. The third step, and the imagery here, is to imagine imaginary snap at your belly button and another one is your spine. And as you inhale, snapping that belly button to the spine and then holding it there. Once you've done this, you bring that in, you brought that in, you snap that in. Then when you lift up that leg, boom, nothing happened. It stays firmly in position. So you get in position and then you do a set of 5 to 10 right like that. But here's the trick. When you first do this, your abdominal muscles, even if you've got six-pack abs, chances are they're going to be weak. So you're going to tighten everything in position, you're going to go up and you're going to still go out. We don't want that. What we want is you to lift up only enough that there's no movement. If you can only get up an inch, but it stays in position, that's perfect for now, even if your toes stay on the floor. We want just the maximum movement that you can get before you start doing something wrong or start moving out that hip. So if you can only go up an inch, that's fine. If you can get up a few inches, that's fine. If you can get all the way up, that's great, and that's very unusual to begin with. Start with 5 or 10 repetitions. You can do this every time you're in the mirror. Do it at least once or twice a day. And then better yet, before every run that you do in the future, make sure you set yourself up into good position before you go for a run. It's going to help you run lighter. It's going to help you run with better form, more endurance, and it's going to dramatically reduce the chance of injury. Because now, like that super strong bicycle wheel, this is your hub, you've engaged it, and you're running from your core. This is just one small taste of the many tips we have in our mindful running training program. If you like this video, if you like these tips, please make a comment below, check off the like button. Thank you so much. This is Michael Sandler saying, be mindful, have fun, engage that core, and run free.